Hi, and welcome to the New York Real Estate Journal Radio Show. I'm Eric Wilson, alongside, as always, superstar in the making, Rick Kaplan. Hopefully he'll be made in 2015. Today's show is actually special. We're bringing together the best of 2014 and everything we did. We launched the New York Real Estate Journal Radio Show in August of 2014. So, Rick, throughout the New York show, it's always been kind of a podcast situation, about 20-minute interviews, a little different than we do in New England. What is it you like about this podcast format?
Nothing. No.
Sweet, Rick. Way to keep the show rolling.
I just like to, that's how some guests, we have to sort of pull information from. I figured I'd give you that shot.
You did really well.
No, we had some interesting guests, very interesting guests from New York. We had some Barbara Champeau. I mean, she talked about the infrastructure, which was a very interesting conversation.
It was.
We've had some attorneys that talk about EB-5s, some of the properties that were in the Times Square area.
Right, with Friedland Realty.
Yeah, I mean, we had some very interesting topics that we discussed
and
on the show.
There's also technology, too, with all the platforms with
we've had some of the new technology software companies that have come out with some of the new sites that are available to the commercial real estate industry.
Right.
So, yes, we did have a lot of interesting shows in 2014.
And we put together a clip for you, and here it is.
Barbara's actually in studio, traveled from New York to join us, Rick, because we're that famous. And Christine
in our own
Wolf,
mind.
Our managing director of the New York Real Estate Journal, is also in studio. Thanks for joining us, Christine and Barbara.
Hi, Rick. Hi, Eric.
Nice.
Hi.
I was going to say, not only are you that famous, but you're somewhat infamous by now, so there you go.
I appreciate it.
That was the appeal.
I think I'm infamous. He may be famous. But we're going to talk about infrastructure, so we're really excited you came in and joined us. Let's talk about what is the infrastructure first when we mention it, so everyone knows.
Sure, and thank you both, Eric and Rick. I really appreciate the opportunity, and Christine Wolf, the publishing editor of New York Real Estate Journal as well. Infrastructure, I guess it's all in your point of view, but generally, at least in the commercial real estate world, you're talking about transportation, everything from airports to roads to ports to railways and everything else you can think of. I guess eventually it'll be intergalactic travel.
And we're joined on the phone by Duke Long, and you are the broker-owner of the Duke Long Agency?
Yes, I am, and thank you, Eric and Rick, for having me on today. I greatly appreciate it.
We see you all over the internet. We follow you on social media. We see that you're a big blogger. How is it to build your own brand by yourself? Am I correct?
Yeah, pretty much. To kind of a quick story, a good friend of mine is a big residential agent here in the Indianapolis area. And he's been on HGTV, and he's on the local television. He and I were volunteering together, and he said, hey, why don't you start writing and look into some of this social media stuff? This was years ago. And I'm like, hey, I'm a commercial broker. I don't care about those things. I don't pay attention to that stuff. To make a long story short, I did write something for him, and he put it on a national website, and it got thousands and thousands of hits. And I stood back and I said, hey, wait a minute here. There might be something to this. So I paid attention to some of the residential people at the time, because at that time there were hardly any people in commercial real estate doing social media or online activities. So I kind of paid attention to them, and I was able to start building up a following and a brand, maybe because I was a little bit of an early adopter. I think that helped quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. Let's jump right into it. Why don't you tell us a little bit about Friedland Realty and what services you guys provide?
Well, I'm happy to. Friedland Realty has been in business for over 40 years. It's the largest individually or single-owned, privately owned realty in Westchester County. I am the new CEO, brought on board to take the company to a new level, building off of all of the accumulated knowledge and the hard work that was built in this organization over the past 40 years.
So what were some of the new visions that you had for this company?
There were severalfold. One is we wanted to expand our geographical footprint. We're actively recruiting new talent. We put a new sales training program in place. We worked on how we all work together, creating a team of collaboration, a spirit of collaboration, teamwork, building confidence within the organization that we all have each other's back, and that together we can do more than we could do individually, and that high tide rises all boats. And so we put this new program in place that rewards our brokers for working together.
Our next guest from Cocktails and Conversation is Harry Squassoni of American Security, and he also was with his
American
product,
Remote Video Doorman.
Video Doorman. Well, we got so many company names
That's right.
for you, Harry.
Well, that's a brand, Video Doorman and Video Doorman Safe Lobby.
So, yeah, with this Video Doorman, that's
What is
like
it?
a very interesting product.
It's a fascinating product. Been around for about 4 or 5 years. Started in New York City. Developers came and they were building properties in Brooklyn and Manhattan, and they couldn't afford doormen because there were fewer units. And they asked us if we could put together a remote doorman service, which we did. Total security plus packages delivered when people are not at home. So.
And I also like to mention that also a sponsor, a bronze sponsor of the event tonight.
Right.
With Security Specialist.
Security Specialist is our first dealership outside of New York, where we have been selling this and installing it for the last 5 years. So Security Specialist is starting to bring Video Doorman and Video Doorman Safe Lobby to the Connecticut market. One of the first.
Okay.
A Safe Lobby is a little bit different system. It's focused and targeted more at affordable housing units.
Okay.
Low-income housing. And there, it's about security and surveillance. It's the first interactive surveillance system. It prevents loitering in the lobby and on the front steps. It provides security and surveillance, so it helps residents if somebody pushes them in, leaves the front door ajar, which is a serious problem in affordable housing. And it's cleaned up houses and residential houses in the Bronx.
Now, Gene Muir, the president of the Manhattan Satellite Office of Friedman Realty. Thanks for joining us, Gene.
Good afternoon, gentlemen, and I hope you're having a great day.
We are.
And you're right in the...
Yeah, you're right in the mix of it.
Well, we're right in the mix of everything here in New York City. So, I know you guys want to talk a little bit about Times Square and Citizens Watch Company's first North American flagship store. I do want to premise that with first saying that, Times Square, so everybody knows, was named after the Times Square building in 1904. And that referred to as the crossroads of the world, as one of the busiest pedestrian intersections in the planet. So that's our Times Square. We have certainly a mixed-use environment there, which combines dense office population, major hotels, retail space, a plethora of entertainment, tourism venues. So we have it all. And we also have the corporate offices there, the blue-chip companies like Barclays, Ernst & Young, Morgan Stanley, Thomson Reuters, Viacom. So Times Square is a pretty hot commodity these days.
Yeah, so SquareFoot is an online platform for commercial real estate leasing. We created it to enable prospective tenants to go through the whole process of leasing, from discovering spaces to ultimately signing a transaction.
So this is like a multiple listing for commercial real estate, basically.
On some level, yes. Unfortunately, there is no MLS for commercial, so on some level, I guess we're a de facto MLS, but we don't really bill ourselves as that. It's more, we work with a lot of the landlords and all the markets we're in to help them get their spaces more widely viewed. But there's a lot of legal and practical implications of an MLS, and for all of that, we are not.
So you work with the landlords. They put their space on through your website. And now, is it for the tenant rep to search for this, or is it a marketing system for the landlord, or is it both?
Yeah, actually, for all intents and purposes, really neither. So I know tenant reps are very happy using CoStar these days. We're not trying to upend that system at all. And the people who we find are using our sites are the tenants themselves, and it's mostly for smaller transactions. So this is a great way for a company for 5 to 10 people, whether it's a professional services firm or a startup, depending on the market, to get a sense of the landscape themselves. And frankly, there are deals that the average tenant broker has no interest in working. So we give them an outlet that's for them a lot better than what the status quo is now, which is either walking around town, calling numbers on signs, or Craigslist.
Hi, Darren. Thanks for joining us. And how you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, guys.
Our pleasure. Could you tell us a little bit about what CrowdStreet is?
Sure. CrowdStreet is a U.S. marketplace for commercial real estate offerings. It is a crowdfunding marketplace, but really what we offer is the opportunity for investors to directly access institutional quality real estate investments across the country that are sponsored by really proven real estate operators. And we do the process online, and so far it's been working fantastic.
So, how do you get the investments for people to look at? Is it like other REITs that are looking for members to join their team, or how do you get this out to?
Good question. It's a combination of sources. In fact, CrowdStreet, we conceptualized the idea back in early 2012. So it was a while ago that we conceptualized the idea. It was basically spun out of the Jobs Act, the idea of advertising and the ability to generally solicit private offerings. We felt like it would be a great match for the commercial real estate industry, and we incorporated it in March of 2013. And what we found was that we thought it was a great fit for small real estate operators or even entrepreneurs in secondary and tertiary markets across the United States. And in fact, that is a great fit. But ever changing and ever evolving, we also felt like eventually the CrowdStreet platform could be a good fit for institutional operators, not publicly traded REITs, because we all have access to those sort of offerings, but kind of the private offerings that used to be limited to the country club network and exclusive set of investors of kind of ultra high net worth investors. And what we're doing is we're bringing those opportunities to a much wider audience. Now, investors on CrowdStreet still need to be accredited at this point in time due to a variety of reasons, mostly due to the securities laws. But the bottom line is that, to answer your question, the sponsors are finding us, and I'll use the term sponsor and operator sort of together, basically mean operating companies, but they've realized that online capital formation for commercial real estate offerings is the wave of the future, and they have found us organically because we've had a presence and established ourselves as thought leaders, but also kind of basic blocking and tackling of building an online marketplace. We've done a variety of things to get the word out and reach out to some of our target audience, and so far it's been a variety of different ways, but no real magic to it, just kind of hard work and relationship building.
Fantastic. Let's tell us about yourself and the Cabot Group, what you guys do.
Well, we are a full-service real estate management and consulting firm, and we're based in Rochester in upstate New York. We have a client base of generally institutional clients, universities, healthcare systems, governmental agencies. We handle all aspects of the commercial real estate market, from the standard brokerage business, buy, sell, lease, to facility management, to consulting services, to financing for our clients, both buying, selling, leasing, whatever is needs. We solve our clients' problems, real estate problems.
Okay. And, first question is, how has the upstate market rebounded from 2008 and the downfall that we faced?
It has rebounded nicely in the past year and a half or two. This is, of course, we know the Rochester market. We're here. We also know the Western New York State market, which would be Buffalo. We are starting to see some real progress in creation of new facilities, the redevelopment of existing facilities. The hottest properties right now that we're dealing with are rentals, loft apartments, residential stuff, repurposed buildings in the center city are just all being converted to loft apartments and going very quickly. We're seeing some downtown development of brand new stuff in the center city. It's been a focus for the last year in Rochester, year and a half with Rochester, with public-private partnerships in repositioning buildings and some new construction. So we've seen a real uptick here in Rochester and in Buffalo. And, of course, some of that is the flow of funds from banks is really making it a little easier.
Mm-hmm. So can you tell us a little bit about what View the Space is?
So View the Space is a leasing and portfolio management platform for brokers, asset managers, and portfolio managers. We started about 2 years ago. The company is now 35 people. The majority of that are engineers, so guys who are actually building all the product. And on the business development side, most of us were former brokers and asset managers at places like Cushman & Wakefield, Gilligan & LaSalle. So really built a platform that helped us do our job a lot better and a lot faster. There was just not a lot of technology in commercial real estate, and we wanted to fix that.
Well, Nick, tell me, what is the equipment that you're talking about, and what is the process that you go through to put together this video?
Sure. So there's really two pieces of our platform. There's the reporting and analytics side, which is really the core. And then there's marketing and outreach side, which, as you guys know, is what we use video for. So we started with the second part of that, which was the marketing. We saw that 90% of all commercial real estate listings, if you go on somewhere like CoStar, don't even have a photo of a space, which was insane to us. I mean, no one would ever go look at an apartment without a photo. But for some reason, it's been okay in commercial real estate for 30 years to not even have a photo. So we wanted to solve that, but also take it a step further. So we chose to go the harder route, which was to try to create this really awesome online video product that brokers and owners could send out to prospects all over the world and identify people to say, you know what, this space absolutely works for me. Before I buy a ticket to the United States to go see that space, I want to tour it online. So we did that 2 years ago. We currently have the largest library of commercial real estate video in the world. And the benefit of that product was a ton of new leads for owners, them absolutely getting deals done faster, but it was also the catalyst for our next product, which is now really the thing that drives most of our revenue, which is an analytics and reporting platform for brokers and owners to actually track all the deals that are coming in as a result of those videos. So now you've got this platform that, one, helps you actually generate more activity to the building, but two, it's a place for you to store and track all the deals you're actively working on. That means that if you're a landlord who has 50 buildings, at any point in time, you can pull up the VTS app on your phone and figure out what deals are getting worked on in what buildings. You can comment on those deals, find out how that deal measures up to the previous deals you've done in the building, and it really becomes your command center for leasing.
Joined now by Lena Gottsman, the president, principal, and founder of Altus Metal, Marble, and Wood. How you doing? Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me today.
Lena, why don't you tell us a little bit about what Altus Metal, Marble, and Wood is and the services you provide?
Altus Metal, Marble, and Wood is a restoration and maintenance company. We restore architectural metal, stone, wood. We do specialty finishes on metal, all types of metal for the construction industry. And we restore all types of natural stone and all types of wood as well.
So who is the typical person that would need these services? Would it be like churches, medical facilities?
All of the above. We work for all types of commercial properties. We work for churches, synagogues, public agencies. We work for the construction industry doing new patina work on metal before it's installed. So we do have a large range of clients.
And we're back. You just saw our best of 2014 clips from our New York Real Estate Journal radio show. We'd like to take a minute here to thank everybody, thank our viewers, thank our guests, thank everyone behind the scenes, Corey Woods, our producer, UR Business Network, who helped us out in 2014, gave us studio time to hone our craft, as you can see we've done. And I'd like to thank Rick Kaplan for joining me on the show. And
it's been my pleasure, Eric. Any time I can spend with you is always a joy.
Sweet. And I appreciate that, Rick. What a testimonial.
That wasn't a compliment?
It was a compliment. It was a really good compliment. It just came out so slow, I didn't know if it was real. But yeah, so we've really put together a fantastic show, and we look forward to having a great 2015.
And in 2015, this is our new set. We have
we have the fireplace.
A fireplace and a
We're
mantle.
FDR by the fire.
Yeah.
But everybody have a fantastic...
But we want to thank the rest of our crew that have helped us with some of the people from the New York Real Estate Journal.
Yeah.
Kathy Ferry, who is our graphic designer. Nicole Fowler, who pushes out a lot of our social media with the help of Eric.
Christine Wolf, who's brought many a guest on our show for us.
That's right. And Maxine Ramos. Also, John Picard, who is the president of the New York Real Estate Journal and the New England Real Estate Journal. Dave Sullivan, who is our CFO, makes it possible for us to put these shows together. Dave Donnell,
our biggest fan.
I mean, I don't know. Do I have to say more?
I think he's our biggest fan, as far as I know.
And our founder, Roland Hopkins.
Yeah, shout out to Rolly.
Enough can't be said about Rolly.
And we celebrated our 25th anniversary this year in New York, and we launched our first year of radio shows. So
we wish everyone
a happy holiday
and a fantastic
new year.